and all glory and all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostle, great millstone, who will. And shalom and single honors to you bishops and elders and brothers, what do you call Hunius camps, preaching and making a body love sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. My name is Yerah Abad at the Israelites 11th Hour Camp here in San Francisco. Coming with another walk and talk, right? And we're gonna go into what do you call it? I have a title. I'll give you a title at the end of the lesson. Today we're going to Hosea the 4th chapter, because I'm gonna go into various topics and my opinion and my take on a lot of the apostasy and the rhetoric and immaturity going on with Israel and these so-called men of the Lord not want to do their over there fucking around. You know what I mean? Be bullshitting. You're literally at the end of this thing. What do you call? We're at the end of Esau Edom's kingdom. We're at the end. What do you call? Of the hegemony, the Western hegemony coming to a complete collapse. Right? Literally overnight. Hell, you got we're now entering World War III, right? With Russia, China, Iran, everybody that BRICS is gearing up for World War III, right? They're building up their military arsenal. They're enacting, what do you call it, military drafts and conscriptions, right? NATO because Russia has put 360,000 troops on its border to fight NATO. What do you call it? And they gave a decree, they're ready to go. So is China ready to go. You know what I mean? And here we are in Israel. We got these dumbasses fucking around. You know what I mean? Talking shit, being rebellious. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you call? I felt this lesson would be befitting the type of conduct that we're seeing in Israel. But then again, this is nothing new. This is nothing out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? The elders are addressing it as we speak. The apostles addressed it. You know, and the unprofessionalism and the lack of, what do you call, a fortitude and fear amongst, what do you call, the body, what do you call, is stupid. You know what I mean? Childish and unnecessary. So we're going to get into it, right? We're going to get into Hosea the 4th chapter. This is Hosea 4:1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord have a controversy with the inhabitants of a land, because there is no truth, right? No truth in Israel right now. At least, not the entire nation, right? But these apostates, these sellouts, and what do you call? We'll coin up. Let me bring out what Apostle Hart coined the year. Had written down. Give me a second. Israel. The year of apostates, sellouts, and agents. Yeah, so you're just gonna be put in that group, apostates, sellouts, and agents. You know what I mean? And not really knowing what you're a part of. You know what I'm saying? Not fully, like Apostle Bar always says. Yeah, a bunch of Israelites, not knowing what they're a part of. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how this is extremely deadly. You know what I mean? Serious situation. And people out there fucking around. You know what I mean? About to get vaporized. Right? So the Lord has a controversy with that. There's no truth, right? So it says, we continue. Because there's no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of the Most High in the land. Right? Not only speaking of Jerusalem, also speaking here in Babylon, which is America, right? AKA America, right? Slakia. So, let me pause this. Hold on, Israel got paused for just for 1 second. Across the street. Let me just get across real quick. Hold on, Israel. That's a band, a bunch of Edomites. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm back, Israel. So, here's Okay, so I'm back. And then, so basically, the Lord is going to make sure that in the day of calamity that's coming, what do you call it? If you deny Him, take half the plow, and you don't give reverence, to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. This is the outcome that will be in the time of His return. Right, when you want that salvation, is Matthew 7:23, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye worker of iniquity. So that's our people working of iniquity. You know what I'm saying? Um, okay, let's go. All right, let's go back right. So I said this Hosea 4:2, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. So by swearing and lying. So what are you lying about? What are you swearing by? And you're lying that's so hard to basically do the work of Yahweh Shema Shai, and you're also sowing discord amongst the brothers. You know what I mean? You're getting the brothers roused up, getting the body roused up, and over there beyond some fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Where the curb is, Israel on some bullshit. You know what I mean? And they're gonna get judged for it. You know what I mean? Here we are at the end of the end. You're over here doing some carnal, retarded shit. Even a lot of us affiliates who are really sincere about this, looking at this guy over here, like, damn, you know what I mean? Really? This is what you're gonna do right now? But anyway, I digress. Hosea 4:2, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. Yeah. See, there is actually a reaction to your actions. You know what I mean, and the words that you speak. You know, you know what I mean. So I don't think a lot of Israelites, like Apostle Gabar says, what? Goddamn, excuse me. Goddamn, bunch of fucking weirdos, man. See, Edomites are a bunch of bug outs. You know what I'm saying? Sluck you, fucking weirdos. Hosea 4:3. Therefore shall the land mourn, everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, and the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, yea, the fish of the sea also shall be taken away. Yeah. So basically, we call it the land here that you deem your home is going down. So who gives a shit? Fucking what do you call it? If your job requires you to work X amount of hours, I mean. As an Israelite man, your whole duty, what do you call it, is to eat this roll and feed the sheep, right? So I don't know what kind of bullshit you're on, but apparently you don't have the fear of the Lord. Our people don't have the fear of the Lord. Our people are still back in Egypt walking in the wilderness, confounded. You know what I mean? Retarded. I want to go back to Egypt. I want to remain in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? I need to build in Egypt. Yeah, I need to build in Babylon. I need to build up this, what do you call it? The sinking ship. You know what I mean? I'm going to build a home on a sinking ship. Isaiah 4:4. Yet let no man strive nor reprove another, for the people as they that strive with the priests. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah. Let me read NLT because it's pretty hard on how the conduct of Israel's conduct right now and their bullshit. It says, is Hosea 4:4 in the NLT, don't point your finger at someone else and try to pass the blame. My complaint, you priests, is with you. Yeah, so that's what they're doing. That's what Israelites are doing right now. These priests are on some bullshit. You know what I mean? Just bullshit. God damn. It's like, what's wrong with these brothers, man? God damn. You know what I mean? You got bigger fish to fry. He's up there fucking, and Israel fucking is still always on some bullshit. Let me continue in NLT. Isaiah 4:5. So you will stumble in broad daylight, and your false prophets will fall with you in the night, and I will destroy Israel, your mother. Woo! So basically, all you false prophets, you know what I mean? As Apostle Tahar made a video today, saying that all you prophets are going to try to get knocked off. You false prophets, and rightfully so, because You're giving us men who are sincerely in this truth a bad name, but whatever, as it comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? Like Elder Yashawamba at the GMS, Elder, claim or says that we should just keep preaching. Your brothers are sincere. Also Elder Awiyah said, let's keep preaching. Keep doing the work, keep making it, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, so I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna come right back. And we're gonna go we're gonna start at top, verse 6. When we come back. Just give me a second, Israel. I'm on the move. Okay, Israel. I'm back. So we're gonna continue with Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Yeah, so our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. All they care about is things in this world. They don't care about, what do you call it, the Lord, you know what I mean, his return and their salvation. They don't care about being a priest, and being a shepherd to the sheep of the nation of Israel. They don't care about, all they care about is the carnality and the structure of how to gain in this world, which is completely off because thing is, 1 second, Israel. Excuse me. Hold on. Yeah, so I put on pause real quick. I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me. So basically, our people are fucking destroyed. They're over here bullshitting. You know what I mean? Really fucking bullshitting. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody in Israel, because I've been talking about the ones who are on some bullshit. The ones who don't fear Yahweh Shema Shai. The ones, who aren't looking towards the Holy One of Israel, for knowledge, wisdom, understanding, in time of JT, good, because right now, Boston camp, so JMS Boston's going on right now, and Elder Dom is going in right now. What do you call it, saying that Esau's gonna come with that great wrath, and he will. While Jacob's over here fucking around, being carnal and being worldly, his people are about to catch a hot one. You know what I'm saying? Jake's about to catch a hot one. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is gonna let Esau bring that heavy-handed judgment upon the nation of Israel. 2/3 niggas are about to get it, and you would think that Jake and the truth would see the signs coming and would basically, like Elder Ariella at a GMS Dallas camp. The elder he has a very good quote saying, "This is time to lock in the brother. Now it's time for the brothers to lock in the spirit." And I 140% agree with that term, or with that saying, that we need to lock in, and really get ready for, what do you call it, these troublesome times that are coming upon us. Some real fucking scary times. Like I always quote Apostle Gabar says that, most of these jakes don't really know what they're a part of. You know what I mean? They really don't know. They really don't know how deadly serious this truth is. Kind of, like I always say, it reminds me of that spirit coming back of the spirit of the wilderness. Jake, got out of slavery and was just itching to go back because they were scared. What do you call it? Of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? So, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of the Most High, I will also forget thy children. That's right, because the Lord's going to forget you in the day of the calamity, right? And Jake knows this. Jake just being worldly and stupid, because he thinks that that if he kisses Master's ass long enough, what do you call it, that Master will give him a job. You know what I'm saying? And pay his bills. Well, Master's so-called beast system is crumbling before their very eyes. You know what I mean? The Heavenly Father has moved to judgment on Babylon, and Jake just seems like that's the move. But hey, whatever. Let me know how that goes. Because I know who I worship. I worship the Holy One of Israel. But hey, That's your lot. Hey, go for what you know. Hosea 4:7, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. Yeah, you're not gonna have glory to come because the Lord just simply asks you to be obedient. You know what I'm saying? Be a good soldier for Yahweh Hashem Shai. Be a good son. Right? Be of good cheer while doing it. You know what I mean? You gotta, you know, be stoic. You know what I mean? And deal with these curses, accordingly, because Jake seems to forget that when it comes to our history as Israelites, our oppression is not going to be forever. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a permanent condition. This is only for a season. You know what I mean? And the season's almost up. Shit's already over. Shit. You know what I mean? The shit. We're more than halfway through the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get good. Hosea 4:9, and there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. Yeah, so the Lord is going to punish you wicked niggas in Israel, you know what I mean, who are on this worldly hype, you know what I mean? And that's okay because you're not going to walk away from this one. What I mean is you're not going to just take hand off the plow and thinking everything's going to be everything and everything's all good and the Lord's still fucking with you. In fact, if anything, the Lord's going to make sure that he takes you out in a very and just like all the other scoffers. In fact, you just became a scoffer. Since you want to get technical, you became one of those scoffers that that the Lord shows us. You know what I mean? And not only did you become a scoffer. One second, Israel. Yeah, not only did you become a scoffer, what do you call it? You Slovakia, in a car, you know. Anyway, let me continue. Yeah, you became a scoffer, but you also sealed your fate. You know what I mean? You know, okay, sorry. Let's continue. You sealed your fate. Slack, okay. I'm dealing with. I'm doing it now. I'm back in the car doing a sit down. You know what I mean? So it's various places. That's how I kind of do my videos. Anyway, let's continue. So it says Isaiah 4:10, for they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase because they have left off to take heed of the Lord. Yeah, so you guys didn't take heed to the warning signs. You know what I mean? Apparently you joined this thing and thought it was a fad or a fashion or some kind of men's club or something. I don't know what the fuck y'all thought, but are thinking out there who, you know what I mean? You Satan Natans and, Isakaris and all the other fucking Israelite bug outs, you know what I'm saying, who are on some bullshit. I swear, with Israel. So it's really nothing new, but at times, this is not a time to be doing dumb shit. It's not a time to be, on some carnality, you know what I mean? And this is not a time to, what do you call it, to lose hope. You know what I mean? Maybe just like the elder says, elder Ariel says, at Dallas camp, it's time to lock in, right? So, verse 11, Isaiah 4:11, whoredom and wine and the new wine take away the heart. That's right. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms has caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring under their God. Yeah, so their God is Mammon. You know what I mean? But right now, Israel's, and of course, not, the gods Mammon, and the gods carnal, their gods is of the earth. Their god is what do you call is of this world, right? And they're gonna die in this world. If you chase Mammon to to it's all vanity and will come to naught. What do you call it? And your riches will come to naught, and it will be um you're basically chasing a dream. You know what I mean? Chasing that American dream, which is really a dream. You have to be asleep in order for it to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 4:13. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplars of elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughters shall commit whoredom and your spouses shall commit adultery. Yeah, so that's where the nation of Israel is at right now, committing whoredom and adultery, right? Whoredom, I'm not honoring Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Um, and adultery, but by putting putting mammon over the body. You know what I'm saying? Over the responsibility as a Hebrew Israelite. Um, so basically, you're just bringing on more curses upon yourself. Fucking idiots. Um, for themselves separate with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, people doth not understand shall fall. Yeah, so they lack understanding, knowledge. See, that's one thing. When I pray, in my humble opinion, what I do is I pray, Lord, I pray that you take not the Holy Spirit from me, and then I also pray for more knowledge, wisdom, understanding of these scriptures and history, right? And so that I have better understanding when I'm reading. You know what I mean? I have that trying to keep that ice out. You know what I mean? I just want to trim my lamps. You know what I mean? And be that good soldier for your Habash Shai. Because it's not easy. Being this truth is not easy. You get curses. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get in trouble. With the elders, and what I'm saying, who are above you. You know what I mean? What do you call it? You get attacked by demons. Sometimes brothers fight amongst ourselves. Sometimes we don't. You know what I mean? It just kind of, you have to worry about your friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, if they are supportive, if they're not, they disregard you, disown you. You got to deal with that stupid shit. I mean, not that we deal with it, but you're going to lose people in this truth. You know what I'm saying? You're going to lose, certain, things that you had, comforts in this world. You know what I'm saying? So, if Jake is not willing to lose everything, you know what I mean? Then he's really not meant for the kingdom of heaven. You know what I mean? His thoughts are, Jake's thoughts are of this world. Jake's thoughts are, what do you call it? Jake's thoughts are of this world. Jake's thoughts are, are in this system, this beast system. You know what I mean? Because they can't break out of that, of that slave mentality. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? Okay, we all have shit going on, but come on now. Come on now. It's too late in the game, for all this, as Elder Ariel says, all this fucking unprofessionalism and fuckery. It's just, I can see why he gets irritated because, kind of same boat. Like, damn, can't we just do the work? Can't we just do the work and teach? You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, just, do our videos, teach, um, and then, and that's it. Go out the highways and byways, do your videos, be brotherly. You know what I mean? It's really not that hard. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I digress. Though, in fact, let me go to NLT with Isaiah 4:14, because they hit. But why should I punish them for their prostitution and adultery? For your men are doing the same thing, sinning with whores and shrine prostitutes. O foolish people, you refuse to understand, so you will be destroyed. There it is. So everything that I'm saying, the Lord just, Hosea is talking with the Lord and backing it up. You know what I mean? Um, that was pretty much shit. You could drop the mic on that one. You know what I'm saying? You literally can say, hey, wanna know what? That game's over. If if you don't get down with the get down, the Lord's going to put you down. You know what I mean? In fact, this is let me go quick precept. Give me a second, Israel. Um, let's see. In fact, 2 Corinthians 5:11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but are made manifest unto the Most High. I will trust also are made manifest unto your conscience. Yeah, so we have a terror. We know a terror of the Lord. We persuade men. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't understand what this guy's doing. If he's in the truth and he knows this, but obviously he don't fear the Lord. He don't fear the consequences, of his words, of his actions. You know what I mean? He don't have fear of judgment coming to his house. His own household. You know what I mean? He's putting his whole family in danger, just by him, being a dumbass. You know what I mean? That's why Apostle Kabar always says, Jake doesn't really know what he's part of. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand how deadly serious this is. And I completely agree with Apostle Kabar with that, because it's hella true. Jake is just all about bullshitting and partying and being worldly and carnal. It's fucking irritating. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn, you guys, after seeing these prophecies come to pass, the MOTBs are just literally around the corner. But no, Jake is, I want to go to work. Yeah, okay, but what are you working for? Are you working? Are you working towards, building the sheep, building the flock? You know what I mean? Making everybody live sacrifice, being an honorable son, right, and an honorable little brother, to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Or are you building? Are you trying to build here in Babylon into a sinking ship? You know what I mean? That's going to be vaporized. Hell, you know what I mean? So, Jake is just on some stupid shit. But whatever. Hey, I digress. Let's go back to. Yep. Isaiah 4:15. Though thou Israel play the harlot, yet not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Galilee, neither go ye up to Bethaven, nor swear the Lord Yahweh liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Yeah, that's our people. You know what I mean? Always going back to their vomit. As scriptures say, you know what I mean? A dog that goes back to her vomit. You know what I mean? And since we're and maybe that's a sifting period. Yes, maybe that's the Lord sifting, people who are bullshitting and people who are actually serious about this truth, who are actually serious about the Lord. Let me continue. Isaiah 4 in the middle. Now the Lord Yahweh Shemashai will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers are with shame. Do love give ye. Oh, let me end it in Isaiah. Let me end in the NLT. Isaiah 4:19 NLT. So a mighty wind will sweep them away. Their sacrifices to idols will bring them to shame. So basically, Israel sacrificed to idols, whether it be mammon, whether it be idolatry of some form, it's going to be brought to shame, and being brought to shame right now. You know what I mean? So, to me, that was the Lord gives us living representations and living examples of how not to be, how not to conduct yourself. You know what I mean? That niggerism, you know what I mean? Being a nigger light is played out. It's tacky. It's old, and quite honestly, we don't, the elders and the apostles, the elders, the bishops, and the brothers, you know what I mean? And the body who are sincerely part of this don't have time for the bullshit. We're too close to the house and shit's about to go down right now. So hope. I mean, of course, there's gonna be more to come. There's gonna be more judgments. There's gonna be more sifting. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord's just gonna bring, Israel. Bullshit is all being exposed in the very end, right? So that's my little 2 cents on the matter, about being a nigga light and this truth. You know what I'm saying? There's some men that equipped in unawares. That's cool. You know what I mean? Because that's their lot. They fulfill their lot. You know what I mean? That's their whole. That's what they do. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. I'm about to sign off, and before I do, I'm gonna give all honor and all glory and all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, and Kakwadash. Double honors to the Apostle of the Great Millstone, who will, and uh, Shalom to you bishops and elders and brothers who in his camps preaching and making everybody live sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'Shem, and Shai. My name is Yerah Abad, Israel's 11-hour camp coming to San Francisco with another walk and talk / sit down. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, straight to the point. Until next time, Shalom, and to Babylon, die a horrible death. Wa, ba, ba, ba.